right, I have a slide deck for us for today. And so hold on one moment because I do want to be able to see you all. Let me share my screen. There we go. That. Okay. All right. Well, so we're going to talk today about understanding lead generation funnels. And you know that I've been having you do all of these random activities, and you may be wondering, how does this all fit together? So after I've gone through quite a bit of things with Marla Holdry, and we've put together a pretty elaborate funnel for her. And even though I'm doing a lot of the back end work, I think it's important for you to understand what your options are, what the different kinds of funnels are, how your lead magnets fit into that, and what kind of funnels do you have for your different audiences. Because when we talk about marketing and getting leads, we're really not trying to cast a wide net and catch whoever we can. We really want to hone in on the clients that are really interested in our services, and they ultimately are going to become clients. So those are the kinds of people that we want to get into our funnel. So a funnel is designed to narrow down your audience. That can be a little bit scary because most of us, if we even have a list, if we even have a list of contacts or potential customers, it's scary to think, oh my gosh, I don't want to lose any of those. And that's really faulty thinking, because you may have a list of potential clients, but you may have a bunch of them that, first of all, didn't opt into your list. And second of all, they may not be interested. So there's really no point in hanging on to them. We want to get to the ones who are going to become paying clients. So I want to tell you the 10 most important pieces that you need in order to build a successful funnel. Now, I preface this with the fact that when you're building a funnel, it depends on your audience too, and what your goals are. It depends on if you already have warm leads or if you're trying to get cold traffic. So here are the top 10 things, the 10 most important things that you need. So first of all, you're going to need a website with landing pages built. So I've been, for all of you, since you're in Ready, Set, Succeed, I've been doing that behind the scenes for you. And you've been seeing that. It's one of the most exciting parts of the funnel, because it's your face to the world. So that website it's got to be together, it's got to be neat and organized, and it's got to be very interactive. So the next thing, you need some kind of email system. And that means whether you have MailChimp, I use Constant Contact. It's not the end all be all, but it gets the job done. There are many other options out there that you can select. There's Active Campaign. There's let's see, what else is there? Get Response is another one. There's Entreport, and there are a wide variety of costs. So I want to check in with you real quick. What do you have an email system, and if so, what is it? So Amanda, what do you have? MailChimp, or what do you have?
I have whatever Wix offers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And no problem. I want to say this about Wix. They really are starting to step it up. So we can create emails in MailChimp. You do have to do a little bit of an upgrade to the software is called Ascend, but you do get some free automations with it. The thing about it is it can't handle really complex funnels. So just know that. I mean, you can definitely use it to send out emails and and even schedule some of those. You can get some automations for like when someone they download something, you can create an automation where you say, hey, thanks for downloading my guide. I hope that you're enjoying it. I want to invite you. So you can create that kind of email, but you're limited on the number of emails that you can create. Okay, so Robin, I don't think you have an email system right now. Am I correct on that?
I do the same thing Amanda does, just through Wix.
Okay. All right. And it's, we can definitely work with that as part of your funnel, and we are going to have some emails since we're starting to build this for you. All right. The third thing is a scheduling tool. You'll definitely need a scheduling tool. I do recommend Calendly. I've tried them all. I've used Acuity scheduling, and it's a nice tool, but the downfall with Acuity is that it doesn't send reminders. And I have just discovered just myself painfully how important it is to have those follow-up reminders. My show up rate for people who booked calls with me doubled when I started using Calendly as my tool. So the neat that they give you a freemium. They can give you a free version of it, and it will allow you to have one scheduling appointment on there. And you could very easily use that as a follow-up or as your tool for anyone who wants to schedule an appointment with you. And you do get to use the reminders. They limit those. I do have a premium account, and you may want to do this later on as you start to grow, but you might want to get the paid version because you can really customize your follow-up emails. You can even just scope out your potential clients, people who are signing up, and you can create a little survey, or what do you want to accomplish in our call? Maybe you're asking them, how soon are you wanting to start your project? Now, 6 months from now? I mean, you can create almost like a little survey within it, and it just loads it right into your Google Calendar or whatever type of calendar that you have. So it's really nice to have. Okay, the next thing is a registration tool. So a registration tool, you need a way for people to sign up so that you can capture their email. On the Wix websites, we have a form that we're using, and it has a way of basically organizing your contacts within Wix, which is fine. I do use Constant Contact, and a lot of times if I have an event that's going on, I will either use Constant Contact so it gets into my CRM, or sometimes I might even link it to Eventbrite. The nice thing about Eventbrite is that it's all managed. You don't have to, you can put things in, if you're inviting them to an event or a workshop, those are good solutions.
So Eventbrite can also act as a CRM, or is it just for an event? Okay.
Just for events, for events and workshops. So let's say that you're going to do a webinar, and you don't have any other way to register people. Eventbrite will do it, and it will prompt them, and you already create the email with all of the details once they register. So let's say that you're going to do it on a Zoom call, and you can put all of that into Eventbrite, and that's all. You push the publish button and it's out there. Okay. Number 5, copy for your posts and ads. So anytime that you're trying to draw people in to get to your lead magnet or your webinar, you've got to be able to say something about it. And that means you've got to be doing a little bit of writing. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. but it's got to be punchy. And by the way, we do have videos from our business clinics that we've been doing for VIP Center. Those are in the library. They just got reorganized today. So if you're a member, you can go to the library and it's a little bit more organized and easier to understand now. So the beautiful thing about you being in Ready, Set, Succeed, if you say, hey, you know, I need help with this copy, that's what I love doing. And I can definitely help you with that. So you've got a right arm here with you where that's concerned. Okay, the sixth thing, a series of emails that invite. So if you have a lead magnet or you're offering a webinar or masterclass or whatever, you want to create a series of emails. Now this can be, I say a series of emails, but it could also be a series of posts like on Facebook or LinkedIn with some copy in it. If you've got MailChimp or Constant Contact or Wix, we can do a limited number before we have to purchase the premium system that they have. And because here's the thing, people, less than 50% see your very first email. So we have something that we call an open rate, and really a good open rate is 20 to 30%. That's really excellent. I was really proud because with Marla's email campaigns, we started her funnel and she had a 30% open rate. That is an incredible rate. So there's something to be said about writing good copy and the way that you organize it. Next, you will need a series of emails that nurture. So that means not really selling anything to them, but getting to know them, telling them, giving them some good tips, telling them more about your story. This is one reason why I've really been pushing hard to get origin stories out there, because this has always been a key piece of marketing that draws people. It's one of the things that has caused me to be successful in what I do. It's the ability to tell those stories. And you have the power to do that too. People, they're curious about you. They want to know who they're working with and they want to be able to connect and relate. So this is a great place to create some emails that said, hey, when I was jumping out onto my own in human resources, I really wasn't sure how to, you're just telling that story, and people, they're so much more receptive to that than than pounding them over the head and trying to drag them into your your webinar. So we really do have to have a balance of inviting but also nurturing. Number 8, you need a lead magnet, webinar, masterclass. So for some of us, you may need one of these. Others, we might need the whole shebang. One of the things that I like to point out here is that depending on your price point for your packages, that'll have some weight on what your lead generation funnel should look like. So if you are a high ticket person, let's say that you've got like a $10,000 program or even a $20,000 program, you're going to want to use all 3 of these, because it's not everybody. They've really got to warm up, and if they know that they're going to give away $10,000 or $20,000, they want to make sure that they know you. So you have to build the relationship. You can't get married or even engaged on the first try, on the first connection. You got to build that relationship. Robin, are you still with me?
I'm here.
Okay, just checking. Let me know if you have any questions as we go along. Okay. So number 9, a list of leads or contacts. So do either one of you, do you actually have a list of people? Do you have a list of leads, or is it just kind of collecting in Wix for you?
I don't have a list.
I
Okay.
don't either. I mean,
Okay.
I have that pop up on my site, but I don't think I get a lot of traffic, so that list is short.
Yeah. Well, and so this is really like, oh, there's a little tiny baby spider that was just on my computer. This is interesting because it helps to understand some of the things that we might need to do to bring traffic. I mean, we can, list of leads that comes from, it can come from Facebook ads. It can come from just posting on social media, including LinkedIn. And these lead magnets are really your key to building that list. So we really want to focus on that quite a bit, especially for you too, to get those lead magnets out. Okay, if needing traffic, Facebook ads. This is the lead. This is the contact list builder that we probably want to explore for both of you. And if you're going to do Facebook ads, then you actually need all of these things. Okay, here's a big ugly diagram of what a coaching program funnel looks like. So I want you to take a moment and just take it in and look at it. And then I'll talk through. Whose head is spinning right now? All right, I'm going to talk through very quickly, and then I'm going to show you some different kinds of funnels. So in this funnel, this is kind of this is sort of what I'm doing for Marla, and I've done for some other people. So right now, we've got two different types of lead magnets. We've got the PDF and we've got a free masterclass. So right off the bat, we have a decision point. Do we want to use one or the other or both? So we have to decide that, and whatever we decide, that means that our next step, whatever our lead magnet is, it means that we need to create an email series around it. We've got to get it on social media, and we've also got to get traffic. So we've got to be thinking about who are we going to get here and how are we going to get them here to get this lead magnet. So we're thinking about that, and what we want to do is we want to draw them to a landing page. So that's why I'm building your landing pages, because the traffic's going to come there. They will fill out a form and we capture their email so that you're building your list. Right, and then that list goes a little bit further into your funnel, and it may be that you're doing a webinar. This is a really nice lead magnet for them to get up close and personal with you. Marla is opting to do, I'm talking about her because we're in this process. We've just created her funnel, and she's opting to do a live webinar. We're going to record it, and then we're going to make that webinar just evergreen. So we're going to create a funnel where people automatically get to it, they register for it. She doesn't have to do it over again. So we get them, that requires a page, another landing page. If they elect to do or if you have a PDF lead magnet, that requires another page too, a download page. So on that page, we want to give them the lead magnet, but we also want to start inviting them to connect with us, whether that's inviting them to a call or if it's inviting them to a webinar. So if we bring up that $10,000 program again, we are probably not going to want to go from a PDF download to a call to sell them on a $10,000 program. It's probably not going to happen. They're going to want to see more of you. So we would probably want to direct them to a webinar or a masterclass. All right, so ultimately the goal of either and or and those is to get them on your calendar. We eventually do want to get them on a call with you. And that call is where you really connect with them personally. This is where you have your sales conversation. We can shape that up a lot of different ways. It can be a breakthrough call where they get to talk about what their challenges are, and then you tell them what your solutions are. But ultimately, it's a place where you want to hear them, and you want to tell them what your recommendations are and what their options are in working with you. So that's the goal. Now, getting them onto the call is a whole nother ball game. And that's why we need to have email sequences, email campaigns. So let's say that somebody came to your webinar, but you haven't heard from them. Well, they may still be thinking about things. And so you want to send them emails just to say, hey, I'm still here and I'm still offering this call for you. It's a $397 value or whatever value it is. And you invite them to the call. And then after a period, if they're not biting, then it's time to put them into an email nurture sequence. Hey, I'm Amanda Gleason. I want to tell you a story about a client that I worked with, and how it was a challenge, but we were able to pull through. So you start creating those emails. But ultimately, in those email series, the goal is always to get them on the calendar. And if you're running a program or if you're offering a service, you want to get them an enrollment call. You want to get them to register for a paid program or register for a paid service. And that's ultimately what your goal is. So I want to pause for a moment and want to see what thoughts or questions that you have about this.
I don't have questions. I was going to say, if I was applying my own business to this, I probably would have a lot of questions. But I mean, it makes sense. I understand the points of contact and bring them in.
Yeah. It can get really complicated. Really can, and we want to keep it simple, but we also want to do the thing that is going to bring in the most qualified leads that are really interested in what you have to offer. And so this process really helps to narrow that down. All right, so I'm going to tell you a few facts about leads real quickly. Cold leads are not looking for you and require more time. So cold leads can be people that maybe you just actively email and said, hey, I've got this service. Would you be interested? A lot of times people on LinkedIn are cold leads. Even if you are connected with them, they're still cold. They're not in relationship with you in most cases. Warm leads don't need as much time to warm up. Warm leads are more likely to go deeper into your funnel and become a paying client. Hot leads are ready for a call and they're ready to do business with you. Those are a blessing to have. They're usually, if you're very familiar with StrengthsFinder, it's usually the activators and the achievers. They're like, hey, I need coaching. I need it now. Let's sign up. And I've had some of those show up. Someone that they've been on my list for like 3 years and they've just watched me, and then suddenly they say, oh, okay, I'm ready. Let's do it. So they've been warmed up in the oven the whole time. Okay. Facebook ad traffic is considered lukewarm. So this is my perspective on it. When you're you're going for Facebook ad traffic. The reason why I say lukewarm and they're not cold is because if they're cold and they're not interested, they're just going to pass right by your ad. But if they are interested, they are going to click on that. And so they become a little bit warmer. The awesome thing about Facebook ads is that you can pre-select your audience. And that's what I love about it. So if you think about your ideal clients and what's important to them, what it is that they like, what are they interested in? What are some of the titles that they might have? We can take a Facebook ad and we can select those particular audiences to have our ads shown to, which is really powerful. Really, really powerful. Okay, so let's take a look at a funnel. This is what I call a double value funnel. This almost sounds like running through the McDonald's drive-through. I'll take a double value funnel, please. All right, so see, I get excited about all of these nerdy things, so you're gonna have to just bear with me for a moment. Okay, double value funnel is ideal for the person who does have a high ticket program. And this is designed to give the person love. You give them several touch points. So first of all, you're normally going to find them from Facebook. You can do organic reach, you can do email, but you're bringing them the lead magnet on the landing page, so your PDF that we're creating, and we say that landing page is, hey, get your gift right here, get your free gift. So after they download your lead magnet and they come to that second page, guess what? Because you've downloaded my guide, I want to give you a free gift, and it's a breakthrough call, 30 minutes or 60 minutes, and so you're giving them a gift on that landing page. And most people are not going to jump on that right away, so you already have an email sequence working once they download that, and you're inviting them to a webinar. So this is designed to highlight your lead magnet and a webinar to bring them into a call and to have a breakthrough call with them. And ultimately, you're going to lead them into being a paying client. So this is the double value funnel. So with a Facebook ad funnel process, there's always all kinds of little different tweaks that you can do. So if you think about, you're just going to go Facebook ads, you're not going to do social media or anything like that, because Facebook ads it'll be all over social media, and it'll be the audience that you choose. So it'll be people who are going to be lukewarm. So with this ad, you're going to write copy and you're going to create your Facebook ad. You're going to drive your traffic to your website landing page, to a lead magnet or a webinar. This is usually a freebie. And then they download it on a second page. You have an email sequence that's going out to them because you've captured their email. And so they're getting to know you in that email. And then you can invite them to a call or a second lead magnet, depends. So Robin, because you might be doing, your audience is going to be more blue collar, and they're going to need some more practical services like resume and interview, we'd have a smaller package for that. You could probably get them on a call just for that kind of package. And so we've gone through a first round, we've gotten a few of those. Or you could do a nurture email sequence with a call invitation, which ultimately can lead to a paying client. So Facebook ads, if you're doing that, you can totally forego all of your social media on Facebook, because it's got it covered. So it saves you time. Social media funnel example. So this is what we call organic marketing. People do it all the time. You've probably done it. I know, Amanda, I think that you may have done this, but you've got a graphic and a copy. You create your graphic, whether it's a picture or you create it in Canva, and then you have a little blurb of copy. You post it on social media and you invite them to your landing page where your lead magnet is, or you invite them to a webinar, and you capture their email, you get them to register. Then as a result of whether it's a download or register, you invite them to a call. And if they don't respond to that, then you can send them a nurturing sequence to get them to know you, and then come back around and invite them again to a call. Usually those emails, the nurturing sequence, you can really write up to 10 emails, 10 nurturing emails. It seems like a lot, but it's very well worth it. So it's a time investment to write those. And then we got the video infused funnel. So if you've noticed in our business clinics, we've been focusing on creating micro videos. Those micro videos are very, very popular right now. You can put those on your landing page especially if you're doing a webinar. These are especially effective. If you're inviting them to a quick webinar, they come to your page to register, and you've got a video there and say, hey, are you struggling with trying to nail the interview, but you just keep failing instead of nailing it? So you just tell it like it's just like a 1 minute, 1 to 2 minute little video that you're saying, hey, register now for this webinar, and I'm going to tell you the 3 secrets to nailing the interview and getting the salary that you want, and blah, blah, blah. So this is you can also use video funnels if you have what we call a tiny offer. And a tiny offer is usually some kind of offering that you do for $27 or so. Could be that they get, I'll use you again, Robin, because you do resumes and interviews. So you give them a pre-recorded course that has some worksheets on how they can make their resume, and they can get all of it for $27. Well, that $27, that course and those materials they're really another lead magnet to get them into a coaching program. A lot of times people get in that and they say, I have no idea what I'm doing. I like these tools and it's helped me, but I want someone to do this for me. And so it gives you an opportunity to get on a call with them. All right. So funnel questions. Let's see here. I want to pop these back up. I was trying to remember why I did this, but it was just as a reminder. So these are the 10 important things that I said you've got to have together when you're running these lead generation funnels. So if you look at any of these, is there any that you feel is kind of daunting for you? Like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm not sure how well I could do that.
The webinar is probably the one I've been thinking a lot about. I'm just
Webinar.
figure out how I'd apply it to my business. Maybe that's not the right way for me. Maybe that works for a different type of service. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you think about HR compliance and the fact that you've got a PDF lead magnet, you could even just take that and make that your webinar, just shape up a little bit of a different title. And the beautiful thing about the webinar, you could go through those points, but at the end you offer a Q&A. It doesn't have to be complicated. That would be very valuable. And I mean, maybe it's you target small company CEOs, could be that you target small, HR organizations with small HR teams, invite them to that, maybe invite generalists to that. I mean, I could see you bringing in some pretty good leads through that.
I struggle with the lead magnets, webinars, and stuff on the HR side.
Okay. Well, and you are a generalist, so I think that with, I mean, I like the fact that you have more of a, you want to have more of a focus on the career coaching, I think that you're going to get, that's the place where you really need to talk to people, people who are looking for those resumes. They're trying to find the right job. I think that that's a good niche area for you. I think with your HR generalist experience that you're not going to have any problem getting gigs. I look in HR indie Facebook group all the time, and they're always looking for people. There is never a shortage of projects and roles for HR generalists. So, I'm sure that we could probably come up with something, but if your heart is in the career coaching, I would say that if you're going to do a webinar, that we focus on the career coaching first. Anything else on this list that you're like, oh, that's not me, I don't understand it, or I would hate that? Okay, very good. All right, well, I just wanted to share this with you just to give you some context and some structure to some of the things that we're doing. And so both of you we're getting your lead magnets taken care of. Really, the next step would be to build that webinar or masterclass. So you do have that template that I gave you to work on, and I do recommend that you start putting some thoughts into that. Who thinks that's fun? Once you create it, it will work for you over and over and over again. It will be working for you when you're sleeping. So it's worth the investment if you work on it. So just saying. And if you say, no, I absolutely don't want to do that, I won't fight you on that. I'll support you. We'll do whatever we can with your lead magnet.
Okay.
Okay.
I liked the link I liked the LinkedIn funnel that I had. I don't know what you call it a funnel. It's not really a funnel, but I kind of started with that. And I think if I refine that, because I got quite a bit of traffic and leads from that. So, I mean, I was thinking that over Facebook. I do kind of have a, I don't know what I'd say. I'm opposed, I guess, in some way to doing a Facebook page. I don't know that I really want to invest the time and effort on that, and would rather kind of stick. I've already got a following on LinkedIn that's pretty big, and so why not start there? And then if that doesn't work, then I could switch over to Facebook.
Well, I will tell you that if you're going to do Facebook ads and your target audience can be found, HR people do play around on Facebook. But if you are going to do Facebook ads, you do have to have a business page. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to spend a lot of time on it. Maybe just a post every once in a while, but they require that for you to do business ads.
I think that's what I was saying is I already have a pretty big following on LinkedIn. I would like to build on and explore that perhaps. It's just a thought. So.
Okay. Yeah, and just remember also with your audience, if you're putting out these lead magnets and they're not biting it, then that tells me we're not quite reaching the best possible audience. So just FYI. So we'll have to see how that goes. And I can see, I definitely see where you would have great connections on LinkedIn for what you do. Are you in some LinkedIn groups?
I'm not really maximizing it right now. When I was using it pretty heavily, I felt like I was getting a lot of traffic, and I just haven't had the time to another campaign and take it further, more than just posting ads. So yeah.
Yeah, I would zoom into maybe 1 to 2 groups, and maybe it's, you could even split that. Maybe it's for HR professionals, and then the other one might be for, could be small company CEOs. Yeah. But that requires you to do some contribution, you know, just even responding when people say, hey, it's just responding to people.
Right.
That can be scheduled. You can put down 15 minutes on your calendar, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And that's what you do for 15 minutes. Just respond to different things that people are saying. That will build up your credibility there.
I have a question about credibility. So, with the career coaching, do you think it's best if I get some type of certification for that or not?
Well, so you are an HR generalist. And I mean, if you're focusing mainly on the resumes and the interviewing, I mean, I think your HR background would be good for that. But I mean, you could go through the same certification that Esther went through. It's a little bit off track of what your current program is, but you know, we could get you certified through the Corporate Talent Institute as a career coach, or you know, you could go out there and find, I mean, there are all kinds of different certifications out there. It's not going to hurt you, but you have to think about where you want to put your energy right now.
Yeah. Well, I assume that's because like I never went and sat for my SHRM CP or even my PHR because in all honesty, I've never really needed it.
Yeah, nobody really asked for it, but it's nice to have those credentials, you know, that you have some kind of credential behind your name.
Well, I mean, I have a master's degree in HR, but I'm like, I don't,
Well, and
people
that's
don't
good.
really ask for any of that stuff.
Yeah. The master's is, I mean, it's a good source of credibility for you. But if you want to talk about certification, just think about that and let me know. And if you're serious about that, we can talk about some different options. Okay.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Well, that's all I have for you today. Now that you have been educated in funnels, I know that you'll dream about them tonight. All right, ladies. Well, I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day. And Amanda Gleason, you are going to be here at the building tomorrow. And I am too, because we have interns coming in.
Yes, we do.
Yay.
Yeah.
So I will see you tomorrow, bright and early.
Yep. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Bye, ladies.